Hello everybody! In this section we are going to explore new features in Matplotlib. So let's dive in. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to import my libraries, and the library number one is I will import, let me just type it, I import Matplotlib as pyplot and import it as plt. And what else I need? I need my numpy because we are going to work with the data and I need to generate my own data. And I will say import numpy as np. So perfect. Right now I have two libraries, and what I'm going to do is what I'm planning to do is I'm going to generate two data. It will be giving like x and y. So basically, if you remember from the math classes, so my y will be equal to x to the power 2. So right now I'm going to have my x values over here and the y values over here. So every single y will be the second power of the x. So right now, what I can do is from the number one is I need to generate my x values. So from the I will say the x is equal to np. I'm going to use the numpy library and linspace. That is a function built in a numpy, and I will say, can you generate for between 1 and 10? Well, let me just give it between 1 and 20, and I want to get 10 different numbers. So perfect. It looks like my x numbers are generated as a one-dimension array. And later on, if I want to call it, I can see all my numbers here. Perfect. Well, let me just give it 10, so it will be much more easy to see it. So right now I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all the way to the 10. And what is my y is going to be is I will say the y is going to the power x to the power 2. So later on, if I call my x and y, I can see all my numbers here. So I have x, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on all the way to the 10. And my y values, it's all about squared. Perfect. So what we did so far is we just generated two set of data. So right now I have one dimension arrays, and let's start to plot them on the Matplotlib. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to create a canvas first, and on that canvas I'm going to plot my data. So what I'm going to say is my figure is going to be plt and figure. So if I run it, perfect. So my canvas is ready. But if you want to make some modifications on the canvas, as we did last time in our previous sessions, what I can say that what is the fixed size is going to be. So right now you can just get the custom one. So I can say that is a 10 by 6. So it looks like it's generated, and on that canvas I'm going to make my graph. So let me call it axis. If you want, you can call something else because that is a variable. And on my fig I will say that can you add axis to it, and I need to give all my sizes. So it will be 0 by 0, 0 by 0, and 1 by 1. And we already covered that numbers in our previous session. So perfect. It looks like my canvas is done. It's pretty big right now. It's a 10 by 6, and I have my axis on it. What I can else do is on my axis, I'm going to plot my x and y values. So let's see how it looks like. Oops, where's my y? Perfect. So right now it looks like I have my line, and that is my x value, and that is my y value, because it goes all the way to the 10 and that is the squared. That is perfect. So let's go ahead and analyze and explore different features what we can have here. So the number one is I can specify what is the color is going to be. I can say the color as a default. The machine is the Python is getting me the blue one. You see, I have a blue line over here. But if you want to make your custom color, what, for example, if you say that the red, it is going to make a red for you. And if you get like orange one. So right now I have my orange color. But what if you have a specific color that you want to use here? So if you go to any website that is going to generate your RGB color, let's imagine I want to pick this blue color or this. So whatever color you want to get, so I need to get these codes. So right now what I'm going to say that I will copy it and put it here. So instead of giving the specific name to that one, what I can say that I will put the hash and paste that number here. Oops. By the way, let me just copy it one more time. It was copy, and let me put it here. So yes, you see guys, I'm using a specific color, and that color, what I'm expecting to do is I'm expecting to see this color. So if I run it, perfect. So I can see, and I can just arrange my color that I want to use. Perfect. What else we can use? What about line width? It looks like as a default, it gives me that size, but what else I can say that line width is equal to, if I put the 1, and 1 comes as a default settings, but if you want to make a different size, so for example, let me put a 5, let's see how it looks like. So right now I have a different thickness of my line. By the way, it looks like a little bit bigger, so let me just get 8 to 5, so that is going to fit my screen. Perfect. So right now I have my custom color, I have my custom size. What else we can see here? So there's another function that I can use, the alpha, and alpha stands for what is the transparency of my line is going to be. And the value of alpha is supposed to be between 0 and 1. So 0 stands for the 0% and 1 stands for the 100%. So if I put it as alpha 1, actually alpha 1 if comes as a default. So right now if I run my codes, you'll see there's no any change. So writing alpha is equal to 1 is the same as if you do not put anything over here, because it comes as a default. But if you want to make some modifications on it, what I can say that alpha is equal to, let me put a 0.5. So you can see, I need to put a 0.5. So right now you can see it's a little bit in a different way. So if I put a 0.1, you see, so right now it's very hard to see it, but it's here. So let me just bring it back to 0.9, and yeah, right now I have my color. What else we can do is, so let me put the next one. By the way, let me just show it one more time what I'm doing right now. If you want, you can just keep continuing that to put all of them in one line. What you need to do is you need to just put a comma, and you can add different features. Or if you just hit the enter, it is going to come here, you see? So I can continue from here as well. So what is the next is I will put the line style. So from the line style, what I mean with that one, so if I put a different style, so for example like that one, so let me show how it looks like. I have a different styles of my lines too. Or what you can say that I will put that line and I put a dot. So right now I have my line and dot, line and dot. So right now we have some different styles on the Python, but if you want to explore different views, how does it look like? So here is a documentation of the Matplotlib and the line style feature. So they have a line. So for example, if you see the solid, it will give a straight line. If you get the dotted here, so you will be getting this one. So let me try it. I will just try that one, which is DOTTED. So let's see how it looks like. Perfect. So instead of putting is here, I will say that, oops, dotted. Let me see how it looks like. Perfect. So right now I have a different style of my line as well. So let's see what else we have. If you want, you can put these names, or they have some codes here as well. So I have a 0, 1 and 1. And so on and so on. We have a lot of things. So what I'm going to do is I will just copy one of them. So let me just copy that one, and let's see how it looks like. So instead of this dotted, what I can say that I will just pass this one. Let me run it, and perfect. So right now I have a different style of my line. Let me bring back it to the line so we can, yes, perfect. So that is my line. What else I can do is imagine that. Do you remember that? Let me just get my pen and I will explain what I'm doing. So right now, do you remember that we have x values, which is 1, 2, 3, and all the way to the 10. And we have a y values, which is dependent on the x. So that is the 1 to the power 2, which is 1, and 2 to the power 2 is a 4, and so on and so on. So what I'm going to do is, so I want to see the dots where they are located on my line. And by saying that, so for example, here I have a number 2, and I want to see what is corresponding that to the y. So right now I have a number 4, and what is corresponding that to the y value. Basically, what I'm going to do is right now, for every single point on x, I have a 1 over here, I have a 3 over here, I have a 5 over here, and all of them, and I will just place my dots on the line that is going to be look like in a different way. So there is another feature that I can say that I can put a marker, and if I put the marker as, let me put the O, so like, you see, so right now I have all my dots here. So if you want, you can put something else. I can put a plus as well. So right now it's a little bit invisible because the size of that marker is a little bit small, and they are overlapping each other. So that's why it looks like a little bit different way. What about markers? Is there any way to resize the markers? Because my line, it looks like my line is overlapping my markers and they are not visible. I can say that, what about my marker size? And you can just specify what is your marker size is going to be. So let me just put a 10. Let's see how it looks like. 10 is a little bit small. Let me just zoom in. Do you see the pluses here? Perfect. So I can see them on my screen. But number 10 is a little bit small. What I can say that, what about marker size 20? Perfect. So right now I have all my markers on my line. That is good. By the way, let me just go ahead and change my marker. I will put the O just to see clear what is going on. Perfect. So you see, guys, all my markers are placed on my line. So what else we can do? You see, guys, since we didn't specify what is the color of my marker is going to be, so as a default, it gets as the same color as the line is. What if I want to change a color on the marker only? So what I can say that marker face color, and also I can say yellow here, or if you want, you can give the numbers as we did over here. You can just pick up any other number codes, any color you want, and that is going to work for you. So right now I have my yellow colors here. It looks like a little bit transparent here, you see, because I can see the lines behind my markers because of we specified alpha as 0.9. So if I make it 1, so it will be full colored. So right now it looks like I have a color here, I have a color here. What about the color which is surrounding my my circles or my markers? What else I can do? So I can say that first of all, what I can do is I can change this. I can change the size of that line. Let me just specify it one more time. I will get my pen. You see, right now I have my marker, which is yellow. So this is the yellow, and also I have this line, but that line is just a little bit invisible. What I can do is I can change the size of that line as well. So let me just go ahead and do it. I can, I can say marker and edge width. Let me put 5 over here. Let's see how it looks like. Yes, perfect. Now the size has been changed now. You see? And if you make, let me just make it 4 because it will look a little bit nice. Yes, that is good. Now, what I want to do is, let me get my pen one more time. So I want to change the color of these lines, not the line that I have a main line, but the surrounding my circle. So it, as a default, it gets the same color as we have over here. So what if I want to make another, the custom color? And, if I bring that in a little bit different way, so I can say that marker edge color. So right now, let me put red. I will try the red. Let's see how it looks like. Yes, perfect. So you see guys, what I did is, so we have a lot of functions that we just put in one plot only here. So using those functions as we see over here, so we can change the color, we can change the size, we can change the style, we can change the marker, so whatever comes to your mind. So using these couple functions, you can just bring a different view to your graph. And also one more thing that I want to mention, that so right now I have a line width over here, so but if you want, you can just use the shortcuts. I can say it's a line W, and if I run it, it is going to bring the same one over here. So right now I have a line style. So the shortcut for the line style stands for the LS. So if I type it, it is going to bring the same one.